Let's talk about how a horse of a different color might supersize and help you grow your business. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. And this is actually a magic wand that I got from the Judy Garland Museum in northern Minnesota with my mother and my sister this summer. Also, my little Wicked Witch of the West. It's an inside joke about the Wizard of Oz. But horse of a different color actually comes from a similar saying from William Shakespeare back in the 1600s, I guess. In his 12th Night, he said, that's the same horse, or a horse of that color, meaning it's similar. So it used to mean, horse of a different color used to mean, that's the horse of that color meant the same thing. And by the mid 1800s, it had switched to meaning something different. The horse of a different color meant it was different than something that you were discussing, or a topic, or an issue. It meant a very different issue or a very different thing. In 1939, the movie The Wizard of Oz came out, and in it, they literally had a horse of a different color, a color-changing horse in that movie, drawing a carriage that was actually a gift to Abraham Lincoln in 1863. And that carriage went on to be in 200 different films, and it is also up at the Judy Garland Museum, which is very interesting. But I got some fun treasures for my granddaughter when we went to the museum. She wasn't with us, so I thought, oh, these are some things that she would like. And what little girl doesn't like a flashing, if you can see it, flashes colors, magic wand? So she really likes this. But how can you use a horse of a different color to grow and build and supersize your business? Well, number one, I learned a whole lot of interesting, fun facts about horses today that I didn't really know about the colors that they can see and the colors that they can't. They can actually see blues and yellows, but they are pretty much red and green colorblind, so they don't see red and green. And there was information about what color floors they like, or what color floors irritate them, which I also found interesting. And there's only about 5 different colors of horses. Horses actually only come in 5 or so colors, and they're not red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and purple. They happen to be a chestnut color, a white, a brown, a black, and the most rare color for horses is actually a brindle variety, where it's kind of a combination of all of the above. So what about differences? This idiom actually reminded me of the olden days when I was in school, and our teachers would ask us to compare and contrast this and that. They would give us a couple of things, or maybe more than 2 things, and they would say, now, as an essay question, compare and contrast this, which meant, what are the similarities between these things, and what are the differences between these things? And so that is a good way of looking at this particular expression. What are the similarities and what are the differences in any project, challenge, issue, competitive environment, what's going on in the environment, say a pandemic, that are important to your business? What things do we want to take with us? I love to ponder this time of year about what's gone well and what are the lessons that I'm taking with me into the new year. So what's different? Remember, different isn't necessarily good or bad, positive or negative. It's just a change. It's different than it was before. So what things can we take with us that we learned and grew and discovered in 2020 into 2021 with us? And what lessons did we learn that we're going to make sure we don't repeat in 2021 and beyond? How do we get along with anyone? One of the things that this idiom also reminds me of is that horses and people are infinitely more varied than horses are, in terms of our likes, our dislikes, our strengths, our weaknesses, our things that we like and care about. It applies to us. It applies to our customers. It applies to everyone that we interact with and do business with. So how do we get along with anyone? I learned this secret, and I probably learned it as a kid, but more so it was reinforced when I had my first job out of college. My first job out of college, my boss's boss couldn't stand me. She couldn't stand me. And I needed to find a way to survive in that environment and get along if I was going to advance my career. And so I had to ask myself, not, why does she not like me, but how can I build a bridge between her not liking me and create a situation where we can work well together, even if she hates my guts? And I realized that if I focused on her strengths, the things that she was really good at, the things I could learn from her in that environment, and the gifts and the things that she brought to the organization, then I could work with her. And I discovered that you can use that to work with anyone, anybody that you seem the most distant from in terms of ideology and things. If you talk to somebody, if you listen to them, if you have conversations with them, there's always common ground. We are all, after all, human beings. And at some level, there are things that we have in common. And if you can discover those things and build on those things, find things that they do really well that you respect and are like, oh my gosh, I wish I could speak like that person. I wish I could write like Joe. I wish I could. And then not just wish, but say, and have conversations with them. How did you get to be such a great writer? How did you get to be such a great speaker, Jill? And learn from them. Even if you don't get along with people, there's always that common ground. And if you respect and appreciate what you can about them, all of a sudden you realize that more and more things you'll discover to respect and appreciate about them. And then my favorite thing about this expression is, of course, to remind us to be ourselves, to stand out, to remember that we don't want to be like everybody else. We want to differentiate ourselves. We want people to know what they can come to us for and how we can serve them with products and services to the best of our ability and in ways that are best for them. We want to attract the people that we're for and repel the people that we're not for. And that's a lot easier to do than we actually believe. By just being ourselves, people will be automatically attracted to our business or repelled from it based on their judgments and their opinions and what they see in us. And remember, everybody will see something differently because we all filter everything through the lens of our experiences. So love to know what your experience has been with this particular saying, horse of a different color, and with dealing with differences and challenges and things like that in your life. Share in the comments below. And I'll be with you tomorrow with another interesting idiom. What does it mean? Where does it come from? And how much you use it to grow and supersize your business right now. Take care.